Here is all the vegan food I ate in Kyoto, Japan. I was actually shocked by not only the amount of vegan food I could eat in Kyoto, but the amount of vegan Japanese food I could eat. After all, I spent all my life savings to have the most authentically Japanese experience possible, meaning I want to eat as much Japanese food as possible. Also, be sure to stay around until the end of the video, because I will not only be going over Japanese restaurant foods, but also some bonus things like street foods and drinks and other fun little things to maximize your vegan experience of Kyoto. So our first place we went for food was arguably my most favorite, which is Gion Tanto. It is located in one of the most beautiful areas in the neighborhood of Gion, and it has an incredible atmosphere. We ordered okonomiyaki, which is essentially a savory Japanese pancake that actually comes from Kansai region, specifically Kyoto's neighbor, Osaka. The okonomiyaki was really good, really tasty, but honestly a little tiny bit undercooked for our liking. We also got yakisoba, which is sort of like grilled soba noodles infused with vegetables and a delicious syrupy soy sauce on top. This was absolutely delicious. A must-have, in my opinion. We washed these savory dishes down with an Asahi and Kirin, which are Japanese domestic beers, which made for an amazing dining experience. They also have other options you can choose from because they have a separate vegan menu. Just ask for a vegan menu and then you can go from there. Another great place for vegans to eat at is Mimikou. Located in Gion, right by the beautiful and atmospheric Yasaka Shrine, Mimikou specializes in dishes based around a Japanese curry. I got a delicious dish called the KITSUNE curry udon, which is like udon thick noodles and a delicious curry thick rich broth, and also came with a clump of vegetable tempura called karaage. This dish was incredibly rich and full of flavor and was very unique and something I really enjoyed having. We also got a curry donburi, or just like a curry with rice, that also came with some soy meat that was really tasty. All in all, the food here was really great and a very unique place to eat at in Kyoto, but actually we had even more delicious Japanese curry at another place that of course I'll talk about later on this list. For something a little bit lighter than curry, but still oishi, or delicious, well, you probably knew that if you're coming to Japan. Maybe not. If not, you got a lot of studying to do. You can visit this place called Muokuteki Cafe. Here they have many different sort of set lunches that are typically based around rice, some sort of vegan soy meat, and some soup and vegetables all together. We ordered a set that had a variety of meat substitutes, including a tofu hamburger sort of steak with a delicious sauce, a miso cutlet, which was like a fried meat, like maybe a tonkatsu, with a delicious miso sauce on top of it, and also karaage soy chicken that was fried and crispy and really tasty. Even more uniquely, I was able to order omurice, or omelet rice, which is not typically like a Japanese dish, but a really popular quintessential dish in a lot of Japanese cuisine. So I had to try it, and it was incredibly delicious with a delicious, rich sauce on top of the omelet rice. Really tasty. I enjoyed both of these dishes immensely. Alright, so this is the part of the video where I cover most people's favorite Japanese food. Not sushi, that's a good guess, but we'll talk about that too. This is going to be ramen. One quaint hole-in-the-wall place where I had a good bowl of ramen was called Tokkyu Ramen. Sounds a little bit like Tokyo, but it's in Kyoto, so it's not Tokyo. This place had a nice ramen with a salty, umami, sort of miso broth, and was filled with noodles and menma, which are bamboo shoots, some green onions chopped up, and other green vegetables inside. It was really tasty, really filling, and the inside of the restaurant was a little bit unassuming, but it made it feel like I was just going in a typical mom and pop ramen shop that is actually pretty popular. Now, probably my favorite place I had ramen in Kyoto was at a place called Towzen Ramen, specifically Towzen Vegan Ramen. Please note it is a little bit far away from most of the attractions, but it's well worth a visit because it's a really beautiful and alluring atmospheric entrance where you walk through this little path to the entrance of the restaurant. Unfortunately, the owners did request that we didn't film inside, so I don't have any of my own footage of the food, but I'll use these pictures to describe it as I describe the food. Eloquently, as always. Realistically, just stumbling over my words, but hey, I'll do my best. So here they use soy milk to make their ramen broth, which is really rich and really creamy and tasty. If I had to be a perfectionist, maybe I would say I could be a little bit more salty, a little bit more spicy, but it was an incredibly deep, rich, flavorful broth base because the key to ramen, everybody, as you should know, is in the broth. They also had their own unique take on unagi or eel sushi, which is really tasty as well, where they used eggplant and had a nice sort of sauce on top. That was a really great combination with this delicious ramen at Vegan Ramen Towzen. So all being said, I would indeed highly recommend this place. The final restaurant we dined at in Kyoto was a chain, but oh, such a delicious chain called Coco Ichibanya Curry. Now, as you can guess, this place is all about Japanese curry, and they have so many different options for you. They even have a separate vegan menu at a chain restaurant like this, which is really cool. The curry here is extremely tasty and flavorful. You can get a variety of different vegetables, or maybe even this sort of like tofu hamburger sort of thing in there, and it's a really cheap price as well. You can get anything from like 600 to 1,100 yen, which when we visited due to inflation was like $4 to $10 for a massive dinner portion. Really good. When in doubt, Coco Ichibanya is a great choice for vegans eating in Japan. So there's actually one more restaurant we ate at that I forgot to mention, which is called Ain Soph, specifically Ain Soph Journey. They are a chain with some restaurants at Tokyo and one in Kyoto. They serve a lot of different Western foods, so things like burritos, sandwiches, burgers, and also some little sweet treats such as these heavenly pancakes that I got here, which are incredibly fluffy and sweet and delicious. We really wanted to try some Japanese soufflé style pancakes. Definitely would recommend these. You did a good job.
Thanks.
So now that we made it through all of that, let's get to the bonus stuff, as promised. So to start your day, there are many chain cafes that serve coffee beverages with vegan milks, such as Dotor. You can even get soy milk matcha latte, which was delicious. And Kyoto, specifically Uji, the town in Kyoto Prefecture, makes their own matcha. It's where it's grown. So I felt like having a matcha latte at a cafe was such an authentic Kyoto experience and great way to start my day exploring. You can also drink these types of caffeinated beverages at a Starbucks in the neighborhood of Higashiyama, specifically the street NINENZAKA, and a machiya, which a machiya just means a traditional Japanese building. Even with a chain like Starbucks, it seems a little bit unoriginal and tacky. It definitely felt like a uniquely Japanese experience to drink some drinks in a place that maybe people would live back in the samurai days. So cool. There are also a variety of places to eat street food in Kyoto, such as areas as the Nishiki Market, the neighborhood of Higashiyama, which has the Starbucks we just talked about, and the neighborhood of Arashiyama, which is famous for the bamboo grove and the bamboo grove. There's other stuff there too. Check out my video if you're interested. Street foods we ate were the essential mitarashi dango, and dango is sort of like a mochi that's grilled with soy sauce, a little bit sweet soy sauce drenched on it. Really delicious and fun. Again, this is a must try for Japanese street food. You can also try probably my favorite, ichigo daifuku, which is mochi based, but inside the mochi is a really ripe and sweet fresh strawberry and also a variety of different kinds of jam that you can choose.
That's so good. So fresh.
We also got a croquet, and a croquet is essentially just like a fried mashed potato. Exactly as it sounds. How can you go wrong with something like that? And a must try in Kyoto is going to be yatsuhashi. And yatsuhashi is like a confectionery that is made of rice flour, and it is filled with a variety of things, maybe cinnamon, maybe some sort of strawberry jam, maybe chocolate, maybe red bean. Also delicious, and again, this is a must try and a perfect souvenir when visiting Kyoto. So that is all for me for my experiences and recommended experiences to have vegan food in the city of Kyoto, Japan. We were only in Kyoto for 6 days and tried to minimize our eating out to once a day so we didn't essentially just lose all our money on food, which is understandable. If you want to do that, I don't blame you. Hey, I don't blame you at all. There's so much depth and variety to eat in Kyoto. This of course does not cover everything, but these are the things that stood out to me and that I would vouch for and recommend to all of you. So what do you think? Do any of these look particularly delicious? Have you eaten any of these places before? Or are there any glaringly obvious omissions that I forgot to add on this list? Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, and check out my other Japan videos and content soon, specifically Vegan Osaka, coming very soon. Thanks again, everybody. Peace.